we chose Moodle for one of the platforms. We did that because it's reliable. We did it because it's already used in a lot of academic institutions. We weren't asking people who weren't technology together, knowing what they were using. We weren't asking them to sort of going at the deep end. They were going to use a tool they'd used before. We also had a Moodle developer on the team. And most importantly, and that's why I'm in this data security, we spoke to the NHS at length, the network analyst, and they would allow us access to Moodle. This is what we came up with. Unfortunately, I was going to demonstrate this, but I'll demonstrate an allied site in a moment. This is offline today, of all days. We can't access it. But we came up with this. We had partner resources, we had our forums, we had latest news. So anything happening within the NHS or one of the institutions, we could share. What I take you to now is part of that site. So Moodle sat within here, but one of the outcomes is we all got together and came up with these videos that Julie has already mentioned. I should put my glasses on, I can't see anything. And we just like to show you this, and this is partnership working. We all got together, we did progression agreements, and we came up with which videos we wanted to support getting a career in the NHS. That won't go, will it, Jessica? I've got no sound. Please go on to the site and you will have the link. The sound's not very good, is it? And it's full. It's got 24 videos that illustrate a range of jobs available in the NHS. This guy actually started off as a porter, had no or very few qualifications, and went on the skills escalator and is now training to be a radiographer, and indeed is a radiographer now. So please have a look. Oh, Louise does that. So then we were looking at what sort of video conferencing tool do we want to use. We wanted one, very important for us, that would record. We considered Skype, DimDim, WebEx. And none actually really met our needs because we had so many partners. There were 7 to 8 people accessing every time we went into a video conference. Also, the NHS network hate Skype, hate DimDim, and hate WebEx. Every time we tried to discuss it with the network analysts, it was always down to patient confidentiality. And they felt that that software was a threat to the network. So our final choice was Illuminate. Has anybody ever used it? Yeah. It was brilliant for us because Jisc had when using it online. So somebody from Illuminate would come on and go through each step till we were quite au fait with using it. And we can record the sessions, save the presentations done online. It gave us everything we wanted. Again, that's just a screenshot of Illuminate. To do all that, we still needed substantial staff training, and I think we underestimated that when we started the project. It's no good just having one session on how to use Moodle or one session on Illuminate. We needed several because some of our staff's IT levels were very, very low. The training initially focused on using the laptops, using new software. Lots of staff hadn't used Windows Vista, and using Moodle. The good stuff. Having the laptops was an excellent idea. All the academic institutions allowed access through their network. Technical support we received from Birmingham Met was excellent and extremely necessary. And knowledge exchange happened. Less good stuff. The NHS wouldn't allow us to put on a laptop unless they had tied it up so in fact it couldn't access anything. I also had an issue to use Illuminate because all our laptops actually had a camera in there. To use Illuminate in the office I needed a webcam, and they refused access to a webcam on the system because in this open plan office I could get up to all sorts of things apparently. So we weren't allowed to have the webcam. We also had an awful lot of problems with Illuminate. We had dropout, freezing, where everything just sort of didn't move for 5 minutes. We had loss of sound. Some of our partners couldn't use the webcam and some had intermittent reception. The online training was fine that we had from the Illuminate team for some people. For others, it was just a constant stream of instructions, and if you're not up to speed technologically, you wouldn't be able to follow them. And if I can ask Sue to chip in there.
I'm asked to chip in because I am one of those people that if you handed me a mobile phone that had internet access, I wouldn't know how to use it. That was where we started with this project. When we talked about online tools, I thought I was going to actually order a hammer and a saw from Argos online. I had no idea what we were actually entering into. We entered it, we went to a startup project. It was like entering an alien world. And I really want to say this in terms of for people running projects in the future. Because if you come from an environment where I think I'm an intelligent woman, I think that I operate and I'm capable, and walk into an arena where words are being used that you have no understanding of, where jargon is used that you have no context to sit that within, it is really off-putting. And I did feel at the beginning of this journey that I was going into a foreign country that had its own culture, had its own language, and on times was treated as an alien in that land. Now, to carry the analogy further, what we discovered through this project was a wonderful tour guide and translator. And we had a brilliant techie who came and helped us. And he didn't just go, I'm over here, this is where you need to be. He came and took us by the hand and said, right, this is what you do, Sue. This is what this means. This is what Moodle's actually doing. You know, imagine this. And took with empathy from the position that I started at, and I'm sure many people start at. And it's one of the key barriers to actually getting people to work with online tools. Now I can use the word Illuminate and know it's a platform. I thought you got stationed, you went to got to the train from the platform. I have moved on. I've gained in confidence in my ability to use these tools and to have knowledge of far broader things than the project. But it was only enabled by somebody having an understanding of where you are. So being able then to work with partners to say, right, okay, we're going to have a video conference. That's fine if you're familiar with that. But for people, it is so often off-putting. And Pam was saying about her project this morning, you know, trying to get people to do things, isn't it? It's like, yes, we'll do it, yes, we'll do it. Oh, God, no, not. You become the stalker because people want to switch off immediately from anything to do with that foreign world that they don't know about. And so it is really important to ensure that they, you know that it's somewhere that can, in that foreign land, there will be a corner of that forgotten field that will be for you, and you can go there and live in it. And but just if it's a plea that I would really put back as a top tip, ensure that you know where the people that you're wanting to work with, where they are, and make no assumptions. I hear so, I can say Wimber now. I can hear some words and think, oh, well, that's probably to do with this. I don't know, Second Life, they're talking about. I had no knowledge. Now, actually being involved in the project was great, and to sit at a desk and to be able to use Illuminate and to be talking to people and having people be able to give me instructions and to upload things was wonderful, and I enjoyed it. I really liked it. But I like things that are intuitive because I like things to be led. Again, so second point, to be able to use tools that people really don't have to discover for themselves in a very convoluted way or go through a maze to find out how to operate it. It's got to be, it's got to be straightforward. So, survived it. I did have this white streak before the project, so that's not as a consequence of it. Thanks, Sue.
So, let's just sort of wind up at the end. I've come up with our 4 top tips. If working across a number of organisations, and I must emphasise that the NHS is probably the worst organisation you would ever want to go into partnership with, you need to become best friends with the network manager. And that's, again, what our techie did. He went out, introduced himself, and got really friendly. Unfortunately, didn't become good enough friends with the NHS manager, but I'm sure he was trying hard. And also test again, everything. Because we thought we had things working smoothly across the 6 partners, and things kept going wrong. That repeated testing would probably have highlighted, you do something twice, you have access, oh, it's fine, and it wasn't.